2.5.1 Economic Influences. Economic environment. Businesses must consider the impact of changes in the economic environment. There are many factors in the economic environment which can affect a business' strategic and functional decision-making. Taxation. Taxation refers to the tax paid by businesses on any profits made. Changes in taxation can affect a business decision-making. For example, increased taxation will reduce profit after tax, which can affect strategic investment decisions. If there is less money left over to invest, then the business is likely to have to prioritize better. Exchange rates. Exchange rates are the value of one currency expressed in terms of another currency. Changes in the exchange rate can affect the decision-making process of a business which imports from or exports to a country with a different currency. For example, if Lidl imports goods from Spain, and the pound sterling weakens against the euro, the price of imports will increase in pounds. This will affect the decisions made about order quantities and selling prices. Inflation. Inflation refers to the general increase in price levels and the reduction in the real value of money. Changes in inflation can affect the decision-making process of a business because rising costs may mean that a business must increase its prices to maintain its profits at the same level. Government policies. Fiscal policy refers to the use of government expenditure and taxation to influence demand. Changes in government expenditure and taxation can increase or decrease demand, which businesses may need to respond to. Monetary policy refers to the controlling of money supply and interest rates to control economic activity. Increasing interest rates may affect business decision-making, as consumers may increase their savings and therefore decrease spending, which can affect demand for a business products. Trade. Open trade and protectionism refer to the ability of countries to trade either with or without barriers to trade. Protectionist measures can reduce international trade, which can affect a business importing and exporting goods and services. For example, banana sellers are affected by protectionist measures governing the trade of bananas, and this affects supply and cost. The economic cycle. The economic cycle is the natural fluctuation of the economy between recovery and recession. Recession. A recession is defined as 2 or more consecutive quarters of negative real GDP growth. In the trough, the prices of factors of production, such as labor and land, have fallen so far that some entrepreneurs think the only way is up. So, some entrepreneurs think the economy has bottomed out, and it is the best time to buy and invest. This starts the recovery process. Recovery. Eventually, this recovery gathers momentum and turns into a full expansion. As investment increases, real GDP grows. Unemployment falls as jobs are created and workers are needed to produce goods and services. So, incomes rise and consumption rises too, creating a further need for investment and workers. As consumers buy more things, like houses, house prices also begin to rise. As profits rise, so do businesses' share prices. Animal spirits, confidence, are rising with these variables too. Boom. During a boom, workers are working overtime and wages are rising. Inwards migration may rise attracted by the work. Demand for luxury goods is high. Demand for imports is high. Raw materials to produce other goods and luxury goods from abroad to consume, e.g. holidays abroad. Eventually, factories can't keep up with demand, and so there are delays in deliveries. Workers keep working overtime, extra staff are hired. The government gets more tax revenue and is spending less on benefits, so the fiscal deficit reduces. Stagnation. Once the boom is in full flow, eventually it starts to become unsustainable. People start to worry that house prices and share prices are too high. They no longer reflect the real value of these assets, but instead are speculative bubbles, over-optimistic hype. Some firms have over-invested as a result, and returns on their investments start to be below forecast. Suddenly, some entrepreneurs get cold feet and start to worry. They might start to put off investment projects. Some workers may be told to take shorter shifts. Return to recession. If prices start to fall significantly, firms' profits will fall as demand collapses. Now, workers will be fired and unemployment will rise. Government spending on welfare will rise, while tax revenue from firms and consumers will fall. Consumers may try to save money for a rainy day, reducing consumption further. As firms' profits fall, some make losses and go bankrupt. This means some banks have made loans that don't get repaid. This harms confidence and reduces aggregate demand. Firms will need fewer workers and will reduce investment further. And the cycle repeats.